If you have ever stepped into a construction site, it's the place where one finds today. As I begin my
Take it out, Josh. Take it out.
with the sort of lighthearted surprises
Oh my God.
that arriving one by one, each sweet start quickly becomes a distant dream. His name, for the sake of Ray walks like a man. Puts his hands together as if preparing for a heroic The plank, however, has different the opposite end rises to what still exists.
Mana.
Oh my God!
Climb slowly above the sky. Whom I'll call them. Flexible and simple to carry. Ben picks up a but as he begins to walk, tilts forward, another tilts back. In the hands of a magician. His arms extended but the sheets gently Ben looks down. Again, as if this choreography was part of While these small events unfold, the sound of conversation. A few workers begin arranging equipment. Far across the river.
Oh my God, it's going to the water. It's down. It's on the river. Oh, is everything okay?
The track smooth.
Everybody claims they want to make big boy money. You want to make all that big boy money, you got to...
There it goes. Oh.
Conversations flow through the air. Tried and failed to perfect.
Oh no, it's on me feet.
Discussions. Someone carries a tool. Only to realize the lightweight version he intended. The moment he lifts it, his knees bend slightly. He pauses, recalculating his life choices. He carries the box across the site with heroic which somehow makes
Oh my God!
where Theo is known for his first few steps with the grace of someone
Oh!
reaches a comfortable height. Contemplating whether after a brief moment of trying trying to reach it with an extended motion. Of course.
Hello, Mr. George. How much you pay for the new guy? 20 bucks? No, too much money. There's no good operator.
Human unpredictability that turns the beauty of observing these scenes lies not in
What?
they never get upset when as I continue a worker named
Get the out.
showing perfect spacing, almost gentle breeze passes by, just enough to move a piece of paper. The paper glides down. He has just witnessed a broken ballet. Turns to perfecting his line of conducting. Only the early hours of
You see what? You know what I mean? Look, it's done.
becoming as the moment site develops its own kind of rhythm. I shift my attention to an area. Among them is a turn even the simplest task into a small. Roll out a section of protected. The roll is large and slightly He places one hand carefully on Everything seems smooth. Oliver gently nudges it. For a brief moment, the roll then it swings ensuring it stays open. Material. As observers, we can see that the roll seems to maintain personality. Instead of moving forward, it wobbles. Oliver pauses. Then crouches, examines the roll. No one can hear what he says.
Os moradores já reclamaram para a prefeitura, mas o buraco só aumenta e está muito perigoso para quem passa por aqui.
Continues pushing until the entire cover. He gives the roll a gentle pat.
Dora the Explorer. Oh.
Not
Your woods up here.
this time, it involves two. These cameras are easy to handle. Mark holds a. Everything goes Julian make them look like participants in a slow motion game attack. Seeing this, the narrator seems undecided about its loyalty. Wrapping the power at the same time. securing it firmly into place. When they finish, Mark jokingly steps away from the camera as if giving it a chance to chase him. Above the site, brightening every corner. Lunch approaches, but before the break, yet another amusing moment begins to unfold. A worker named Lewis is carrying a bucket of harmless construction material. The bucket is perfectly fine, but Lewis chooses to carry it with extraordinary caution. As he walks, he focuses intensely on avoiding small pebbles. The way he navigates the path resembles a man trying to cross a corridor filled with fascinating lines that might happen. His co-workers watch him from a distance. Across the site, one of the more artistic workers, a man named Samuel, is preparing to complete a set of temporary markers. Samuel treats every worker as if he is creating a masterpiece. He positions his materials in just as stands and dips the brush with deliberate intention. The second stroke follows with equal precision. Then, as he compares it, something unusual happens. A bird passes overhead, casting a brief shadow that startles Samuel ever so slightly. His hand twitches, and instead of painting a straight line, he creates a dramatic swirl. He pauses, studies the swirl, and instead of fixing it,
Это
he
что
steps back
такое?
with a look of artistic pride. He nods as if deciding the swirl adds character to the marker. A coworker walks over, looks at the swirl, and asks if it was intentional. Samuel simply says, workers gather around different shaded windows, each taking a moment to rest. But even during the break, the comedic rhythm does not pause. One worker opens his lunch container, only to discover that he's not alone. Instead of frustration, he stares at it and then slowly begins to accepting his fate. Another worker twisting gently, adjusting his weight. The worker stares at him with admiration and mild confusion, as if witnessing a hidden talent. After lunch, the energy shifts as the workers return to their tasks refreshed. The next series of scenes begins with a worker named Adrian who is unloading boxes from a pallet. The boxes are small enough to carry in pairs. Adrian picks up two, one in each hand. Confidently, he begins walking across the site with the stride of a man ready to conquer an afternoon of productivity. But boxes balance. In motions, moving his elbows and maintaining equilibrium. His concentration intensifies. His steps become remarkably calculated. For seconds, it seems like the box is moving, but Adrian maintains full control and sets them down. He dusts off his hands, nods with satisfaction, and walks away with the pride of someone who has overcome a challenge only in truly. He leans one board against the stack, attempting to let it rest, and sweats another. The board has its own movements. It slowly begins leaning forward without Felix noticing. Just as it is about to finish, Felix turns around to finish it with a swift motion, almost like an athlete intercepting a pass. He stands still,
And there it goes.
impressed by his own reflexes, then glances around to see if anyone witnessed his quick save. The moment was absolutely blending with the soft hum of distant the entire site appears like a stage where each worker unknowingly plays a role in an ongoing comedy. And so the narration goes on, flowing as the afternoon establishes that emerges naturally.
The freaking hit!
Thoughtful man who always believes in other people even the smallest detail. Today his vision involves launching a series of violent markers along the straight line. It is a job. He places the first marker, steps back, then steps back again, analyzing the line as if he is inspecting an important piece of art. But midway through the alignment process, Henry notices an
You're not a true roofer unless you know how to do this.
After a minute of contemplation, he decides to adjust them once more, shifting them so slightly that even the complex architectural project. One of his co-workers walks by, glances at the markers, and says they look excellent. Henry accepts the compliment. Far away, a worker named Nolan is preparing materials for the next stage of the site. Nolan is known for his calm and the way he approaches tasks He picks up each board with care and places it gently onto the stack, aligning the edges perfectly. When he reaches the final breeze stirs the air. One corner of the top board lifts slightly, almost playfully. Nolan notices the shift, straightens the board again, and stands still for a moment to see if the breeze will return. It does. The board lifts by the tiniest measure, as though refusing to settle. Places a small object on top to keep it in place, then walks away with a satisfied nod, acknowledging the simple truce between man and material. The next scene unfolds near a shaded area where two workers, one measuring the section of the site. Leonard stretches the tape and this marks the spot. The coordination between them is smooth until Leonard pulls the tape a bit too enthusiastically. The tape snaps back slightly and surprises both of them. Leonard maintains his composure, but his eyebrows Mason laughs softly, not with alarm, but with the quiet amusement of someone who has experienced the same Leonard unrolls the tape again, this time with a gentle touch, and both continue working as though nothing happened. Meanwhile, a worker named Elliot is organizing tools on a small table. He arranges it and adjusts the spacing to make it a balanced display. When he finishes, he stands back and looks at his He accidentally nudges the corner of the table with his knee.
The new 2024 mixer. And there we go. There she goes.
With mild disbelief, then carefully repositions them once again. He steps away slowly this time, watching the tools out of the corner of his eye. Satisfied, he walks off the floor, as though he has just resolved a diplomatic the sound of unrelated conversation begins to rise. Another pair debates the best stories from earlier jobs. Despite the label, the atmosphere is one of shared camaraderie. Then comes a moment involving but a few feet in, the rebellious the wheel resists. Grant adjusts again. This pattern repeats itself as Grant performs a subtle dance. Eventually, Grant stops. Resumes walking, and this time the cart follows him perfectly, as if acknowledging Grant's gentle yet firm approach. A short distance away, a worker named Owen is in the middle of marking measurements on a board. He bends down, draws a line, steps back, and checks the alignment. Then he draws the next line. Then he retrieves it once more. But when he rolls again, following the subtle slope of the surface. Instead of frustration, Owen simply laughs quietly to himself, then places the pencil inside his shirt pocket so he can no longer escape. With this small victory achieved, he continues his work. As the afternoon stretches into later hours, a soft golden light begins to overlay the construction site. Passes through scaffolding, tools, and structure. One of the next amusing scenes involves a worker named Patrick. He is organizing a bundle of cables, looping them carefully to avoid his technique is precise, impressive speed. But then, as he holds the neatly coiled cable, one end slips free and unwinds just enough to disrupt the symmetry. Patrick pauses, examining the slide, and then secures it with a band. He lets the finished coil be almost expecting even though no one sees it, the satisfaction is
unbelievable.
Appreciation settles over the construction site. It is a stage filled with countless small moments and skill that every small accident, every improvised solution contributes to an unending story that grows richer with each passing moment. And so the day continues. As the late afternoon unfolds, the construction site settles into a steady pace, but the natural stream of producing moments continues as effortlessly as ever. I shift my attention toward a worker named Marcus, who is methodically organizing a set of small markers with
He's a $7 million bull rider. Jay.
Marcus picks up this marker and places it precisely into one of the dividers. But as he nears the final row, he realizes that one of the slots is slightly narrower than the rest. He attempts to slide the marker into it, but the marker leans sideways and sags against the Marcus tries adjusting his angle. The marker still refuses to sit up. After several attempts, he squeezes and he then taps the crate lightly, as if trying to remind it to cooperate. The crate remains empty. Marcus sighs softly, rotates the marker and tries again. This time, with a gentle push, it fits perfectly. He nods, as though achieving a personal victory, then closes the lid of the crate. expression of triumph. Nearby,
Swing on that motherfucker with 2 hands. Jump on that motherfucker. Grab it like we did earlier.
he stretches a chalk string across the path, pulling it taut with perfect form. When he snaps it against the ground, the line marks clearly with satisfying precision. Encouraged, Damien moves on to the next section, repeating the process. Everything proceeds flawlessly until a small patch of uneven ground causes him to lose